All right, so tonight we have in the hot seat my beautiful cousin Katie James. Kate is a brand new mama, well, for the third time to her little girl, um, and has two boys as well. So she's a super, super busy mum. Her husband also has his own traditional business too. And Kate was one of my very first believers in the business when I got started. I think Kate jumped on board 2 or 3 weeks after I did. So we are obviously cousins, but we really didn't have, we caught up just at those family kind of Christmases and maybe Easter or someone's birthday or something along the way during the year, and that was about it. So the thing that I really love now is that Kate and I are probably the closest that we've ever been. Because we get to do this business together, but also catch up a lot more often for business meetings. But they're really, they are part business, but then also some fun as well. So I'm so grateful that I've got you on this journey, Kate. And I'd love for you just to share with everyone, for those who don't really know you too well, just a little bit about yourself and your background and what kind of got you interested in the business.
Yeah, sure. So as Tanika said, my name is Katie, and what got me interested? I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I just started, I actually just was friends with Nika on Facebook not long after she did her excited post, and I had been aware of the products prior to Tanika joining Juice Plus, and I just messaged her saying, "Are you doing Juice Plus?" And it just sort of snowballed from there. And I definitely wasn't looking for it. It just sort of literally fell in my lap. And yeah, ever since just talking to Tanika that day, that night, whenever it was, it just, rolled on and got the Juice Plus brain damage is what they call it. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. Tanika and I were messaging each other all the time because, as Nick said, we were quite new to the business together. At that time, it was just her, me, and Kylie were sort of the three amigos learning because Kylie hadn't long joined either. So yeah, it was interesting. It was fun, or is, but just different back then.
Yeah.
Was that it? Is that all you asked me?
Yeah, that's good. That's
okay.
Good.
I don't retain a lot of information at the moment either.
That's all right. You got an excuse. You got baby brain. She's still only little. You can keep using that for a couple more years. So I suppose, Katie, if you want to share with everyone what your goals are, I know we've done a call and we've really mapped out some goals for you, seeing as though you're on maternity leave. But what are your goals for the next kind of 30, 60, 90 days?
Yeah, so I guess, a lot of things have become derailed a little since having Macy. So the last 4 months, my whole being with Juice Plus has differed. What I used to do on a daily basis, I didn't quite do so daily anymore. So now my 30, 60, 90-day goals are I need to really concentrate on customers. I've sort of let that slip of late, and it probably goes towards all of the questions sort of roll into one. I was thinking about it because I hadn't been staying, the term we use, close to the fire, then I could see myself getting further and further and further away from, I guess being part of the community, customer care, gaining new customers. The feeling I got when I didn't get customers was different to when I was actually really invested in the business. It was just sort of like this numb board that went up, and I think it was because of I had a newborn and life just flipped because I hadn't had a newborn for so long, and to a certain extent I had forgotten a little bit what it was like. So my goals for the next 30 days are to really focus on, it's a bit of both, focusing on me, which then makes me feel better, which makes me want to reach out to people more and help others, and getting my flow back on. So that's 30, 60, 90 days are all pretty much the same. Ideally, I'd love to attract somebody into the business within 90 days. But for the next 30, it's going to be more customers.
Yeah, awesome. And what's your DMO around that, Kate? Like, I know having a newborn baby or even 4 months old, it's still hard to have a bit of a routine. Like, I know you used to have with Juice Plus, you had an allocated set time each day that you worked on this business. And that's hard when a newborn comes along and kind of turns everything upside down, plus having 2 super busy boys as well. But what's your DMO like now? Are you doing it more just in little 10-minute stolen moments, or do you have a set kind of pattern with that now that Macy's getting older? Or
yeah, so I guess once upon a time it used to be I was not an organised person nor a very structured person, but I did try and do set times. So say it was, I don't know, as soon as the kids caught the bus, I'd do an hour or so, and I'd make sure I do that. But now I'm finding as time went by, and whatever training it was, doing it in those, might have even been a Linda, I think, those short, sharp 10, 15, 20-minute blocks of time. And I don't actually set a time limit on that. I don't go, right, I'm going to do it at 10 o'clock this morning, because then I find it puts pressure on myself. And then if 10:05 comes, I'm like, oh shit, I'm not doing Juice Plus and I should be. So I don't want to get in that emotional sabotaging to myself, because that's what it actually does to me if I don't stick to what I'm saying I'm going to do. And then I find I get even more derailed. So I leave it open for the time being and go, okay, well, I want to do X amount of time today, and whether that's in, can you hear me?
yeah.
Yep. Whether that's in, you know, I don't know, 5-minute blocks or 3 10-minute blocks or whatever it works out to be, then that's what I'm doing at the moment until I have, well, not necessarily me, but until Macy has those set morning, lunch and afternoon sleeps, which at the moment she just sleeps whenever. And because also too in those short times, I'm thinking, okay, well, it's not just Juice Plus. I've also got a house and jobs and all those other things that you need to do as well that, you know, if you don't do, then the kids don't eat, or if you don't do, the kids don't have clean clothes and all that sort of stuff. So that's a bit of a necessity as well. So I'm just finding it, chunking it down into short 10-minute blocks or 5-minute blocks and just going hell for leather for that time is working.
And what do you do in those 10-minute blocks? Is it reaching out to new people? Is it, what kind of things are you doing?
Yeah, so one of my big things I was making a priority for this year was focusing on customer care, because that wasn't my strong point. And so, you know, a lot of people are probably already doing great customer care, but I wasn't. So I, first of all, make sure I touch base with my customers first, making sure new customers have got their product, making sure I'm really aware of why they want to take Juice Plus, and then going forward with that. And then I'm reaching out to new people. So, for example, today I'm not reaching out, hey, do you want to buy Juice Plus? I'm following what the 20 and 30 had taught us, so to speak. So I've just been re-establishing connections. So, for example, this girl today, I just became friends with a little while ago. Her name's Katie as well. And I just messaged her saying she does burlesque dancing, and look, I know nothing about it, but I just said, you know, just wanted to let you know that your costumes or your outfits or something look really great. I said, you know, it's not very often that we get complimented on these sorts of things, so I just wanted to let you know they look awesome. And she's like, oh, thanks so much. And I said something like, oh, I hope you're enjoying your new job as well, because I knew she just changed jobs. And she said, oh, thanks so much. I'm trying so hard to blah, 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 blah. So, and that was it. So I'm doing that, establishing connections. And then last week I met up with a girl who, she was a stranger, just for coffee to have a relationship, and we're just still talking now. Not just for Juice Plus, but also just for me, you know, because I live in an area where I grew up in. I do have a lot of older friends, if you know what I mean. So it's actually nice to get some new friends. So I'm just focusing, I'm taking the pressure off, and I'm not focusing on, I'm only talking to you because I actually just want to give you some Juice Plus. I'm not doing that anymore. And that was my sole purpose for talking to some people sometimes, because I thought, right, well, I know you've got kids, I know you've got this, I can eventually, you'll eventually be on Juice Plus, and I know it. I'm not doing that anymore because it's really, it's not me. And, yeah, I feel better just being friendly to people.
Yeah. And that's going to come across in the messages as well. Like, even if it's not a voice message and it's an actual, message through Messenger with words, I still think people can sense that space that you're coming from. And if you do have a meaning behind it, or if it's just a genuine conversation and building that relationship. And it definitely takes the pressure off you when you stop doing that as well. I know for me, I'm the same, Kate, and have been for like probably 6 months or something now, is not being attached to the outcome, like genuinely finding people on Facebook who you have stuff in common with and building those relationships, and you never know where that can lead to. And even when you're out and about at the shops or the beach or wherever you might be, like just genuinely starting conversations because you want to, and, not walking away kicking yourself going, oh my God, like I could have put something in there about what I'm up to or something like that. It's, it's just genuinely having those conversations. And it does take the pressure off you because you're not feeling like you're failing. It's just, all about building those relationships. So,
and that probably goes hand in hand with Kira's live today, because I don't know about everybody else, but like you, Nick, if I would walk away from somebody, I would have this negative self-talk going, you're such an idiot, Katie. Why didn't you just say something to her? And I used to have this internal dialogue beating myself up about it all the time. Yeah. And with Kira saying what she was saying today, it actually makes a lot of sense. And I could really resonate with a lot of stuff she was saying about the internal noise that she's talked about before, but even more so on the live, I could really resonate with that. So just, I'm not going to beat myself up about something. There's heaps of opportunities that come up where you could always slip it in, but sometimes I think, you know what, I'm giving myself a break. I'm not, I'm probably being selfish for not saying something at that point in time, but sometimes I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to do groceries. I'm not going to walk around and think about Juice Plus all the time. I'm just here to do groceries. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. But
it gets tiresome. It gets emotionally draining if you're walking around thinking, oh, you're next, or maybe I can talk to you because you look like you need, I don't know, JBT. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so true. And if you're just doing it as you do life and you're not having that pressure on yourself, then it will happen anyway, because, it's just part of conversations now. And if it does come up, then it gives you that opportunity to share. It's not being forced. So what's your greatest challenge at the moment? What do you feel is challenging you?
Okay, so I've sort of rolled into it before. But just not having the time freedom that I had, that I didn't know I had before, but in hindsight I did. I guess always having to have Macy relying on me, which is clearly fine, but, always having to have somebody with you literally all the time and not having that moment, that flexibility, that, oh, I want to watch this Kira's live for an hour and a half. Oh, no, I can't because all of a sudden you've woken up. So my biggest challenge at the moment is just, I guess, coming to terms with being okay with doing what I can at the time with what I can. When I'm not blaming Macy at all, because that's not what this is about. It's, I'm getting pulled in different directions. So, my biggest challenge is I need to stop and try and regroup and recenter and not feel like I'm an octopus. So, yeah.
As most mums do with young little ones, it's like going every which way.
Yeah.
But I think you probably really resonate with how Linda talks about all the different hats that we wear, and You know, when you do have your mummy hat on, don't be replying to messages on your phone. And that's one thing that I definitely didn't do for the first 18 months or so in this business, and it really stressed me out because it was only that it took Evie to say something to me that was like, wow, that was just like a stab in the heart. You know, are you listening to me? You're always on your phone. You don't look at me when I'm talking to you, or you're watching a movie, put your phone down and should pick my, you know, just little things which, you know, it's just, that's not what this business is about. So it's really to help us have that flexibility so that we can have those special moments with our kids. And I think if you just think about putting that hat on when you are having time with the kids or with Macy or whatever, and trying to get Juice Plus off your mind, then you're going to be so much more productive when you do go into your Juice Plus time, when Macy has a half an hour sleep or whatever that might be. Definitely takes the pressure off us. And
I've also found too, just I went out for a walk today, and I've really found just looking after myself again has really helped my mindset just want to move forward in a more positive way. You know, last night, I don't know, I think I got maybe 4 hours sleep broken with kids up, and I could have just, you know, wallowed around the house and done the housewife stuff. But I got up, I went to the beach, and I went for a walk with Macy, and it was great. You know, it was so nice, and I'm thinking, God, I'm so lucky to live here. Look how beautiful it is. Look how amazing it is. And, you know, I got home and I banged out 15 minutes worth of messages because I felt positive and caring and wanting to do it, not just, you know, this is another day, I'm just sending these out. But, you know, I genuinely wanted to send them out. So
yeah, definitely. I think if you do look after yourself and you inspire yourself, you know, it's, people can tell that as well in the message, because you're coming from that genuine place and you're feeling good about yourself. So you're happy to, and once you do that, if you kind of can fit that into every day or every couple of days, it's going to help your business grow as well, because you're feeling good about yourself. You've got more energy. You're ready for the day. It's setting you up, and then you're taking more action in your business because you're feeling good. Yeah. And so what do you feel is working for you right now? I know this is probably a hard question because you have just had a baby. So,
yeah, I think it's probably a little bit different to what I guess previous people have said, but what's working for me is actually realising and coming to terms with me seeing where I need to grow, me seeing where and being okay with things as they are now, and not getting annoyed or cranky with different aspects of my life because I can't concentrate for 3 hours a day on this or something like that. So I think it's just a bit of, self-realisation that it's okay. It's okay if I don't speak to somebody today because of a certain reason. And it's okay if I spend 6 hours one day because I've had that flexibility because, I don't know, Macy decided to sleep. I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily my DMO of, well, I message these people and I do this and this is what gets me to where I need to go. I think this whole last 4 months has really been taking the pressure off, lifting myself out of, you know, the poor me. It wasn't poor me. It was just I've gone back to square one, so to speak. So it's just, just taking it easy on myself and not beating myself up. And I think that helps not only me, but it helps me not being cranky with the kids. It makes me not be cranky with Lucas and just cranky with life, you know. Bloody chicken fell on the floor. Oh, bloody chicken, you're on the floor. You know what I mean? Like not being, because that's what happened tonight. So it's not, I'm not in that state anymore.
Yeah. That's good. That's awesome, Kate. Love it. I love the chicken analogy. Well, not that it was an analogy because it actually happened.
It's true. I don't know if it happens to anybody else, but I'm always, well, not so much now anymore, but I used to curse all the time. Oh, freaking hell, Katie, you've dropped the toast, or you've dropped this, or you've, I don't know, dropped a spoon, or you know what I mean? So, yeah. Throw it out. There you go.
Off. Oh, no.
Bloody chicken trace.
That's worse than dropping it on the floor.
That's right.
Oh, that's not good.
So just being a bit more lighthearted, I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And when you're in that good headspace, you're not so stressed out, and those tiny little things aren't getting you down, and you're not beating yourself up or anything about it. It's like, okay, that's happened, whatever, like I'm all good, it's fine.
Yeah.
And you are building an awesome team. You have so many girls, who have stuck into the business for over 2 years as well with you now, and they're very teachable. They have that desire, and they're always on calls and things like that, and that's definitely hats off to you, Kate, because your team will do what you do, and if you're sharing and jumping on calls and being so supportive for your team and all of that, then you're just teaching your girls down the line to do exactly the same. So you've got an awesome team, and they all love you so much, so that's so nice.
Right. You know what, there's been so many moments, and I'm sure everybody has felt this, that okay, I'm quitting today, and out of 365 days of the year, I think I quit 360 days of the year. But I don't, because of what we have, and you being Nick, and Trace and Beck, and that relationship that I have with everybody, I would also let myself down, but I'd be letting you guys down as well. So that is, that pulls me through. That's number one reason for not quitting, is I think of all you girls. And otherwise I would have quit, like, I don't know, 2.5 years ago. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We all have those face down moments, and it's definitely the community that holds everyone together.
It's our community, because I'm not sure if everybody's community is like this. I don't know.
Definitely not. Yeah. From what I've been talking to a lot of people just at events and stuff that aren't in our team or whatever, and I think we're so lucky that we have such a nice, vibe and feel, and everyone's very genuine and supportive of everyone, which is awesome that we've been able to create that.
Yeah. Because it's even, if you're in a bit of a slump and you just see somebody's post, you're like, oh, yeah, what am I thinking? What am I doing? Why is my freaking chicken on the floor? So and that's going to be my catchphrase now, why is my chicken on the floor? I'm going to take it. Yeah, so when you see people's posts, or you speak to somebody, a voice message or on the phone or whatever, that really, helps you get out of it.
He's still on.
Yeah. I'll be 5 minutes.
Oh, hurry up.
Oh,
Be 5 minutes, then you'd be half an hour.
Sorry.
Is that another dagger, Tanika?
Oh, yeah. It's a wonder she hasn't got the whiteboard out. That's usually time to wrap up. If everyone wants to take themselves off mute and ask Katie any questions, or share whatever, or tell her how amazing she is, feel free.
Not Tanika.
I'm going to come off mute.
Hey, Carls, haven't seen you for a long time.
I know. I wanted to come off mute because you have just totally resonated so much. Thank you so much for sharing tonight and being so raw, real and vulnerable, because I have had so many of your challenges, not being a new mama, because I can't have that story anymore, but obviously separate challenges. I feel like every other month I have something happening, whether it's selling my business, going back into a business, selling a house, buying a block of land. There's always bloody something. And I just loved everything, even where I'm at in my journey. So many things that you said resonated with me, and I was like, you know what, yeah, I can keep on doing this, because I'm a lot like you, and sometimes it's like every other day that you think I can't do this anymore. But thank you for sharing, because you've even given me strength in some of my challenging days that I have. And it is our community. I'm a lot like you. That's why I always say I can never quit this, because I have to disconnect from too many people and too many friends that you have to say goodbye to. Yeah. So thank you for sharing. It was absolutely amazing. You just did so amazing. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Kylie. That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, you did. Awesome, Kate. Yay! I'll just stop the recording.